Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the Trade Waiters podcast, the comic book club where we read a different trade paperback every single week. I'm Daniel, you're Nathan, your dad, we're family. We read comics.
Well, we do. Yes. This is like your first comic, probably?
It is my second comic, actually.
Did you read Bone?
Daniel gave me a issue of the Flintstones for Christmas one year.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
It was the first trade, yeah.
Daniel went insane one year and was like, I'm going to get everybody into comics. Yeah. And he gave everybody a comic trade. Now, I assume the success rate of like people actually reading the book was probably like 5%.
The success rate was Lynn.
Like, yeah.
That was it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So this is actually my second issue or second comic book that I've been reading. So this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Dad was like, if you don't have me on your podcast, I'm going to ground you.
Yeah.
He said that to both of us. Two grown men.
I'm like, I have my own house now.
I pay taxes. And he was like, no, I'm going to ground you. So he's forced himself on.
I'm like, I'm no longer on your insurance. You can't ground me anymore.
Well, I was thinking you guys were just looking to expand your demographics to like old people. So that's why I ended
Mostly
up going
old
there.
people read comics. So I think we were good there.
I assume that, I hope there's old people that just have been reading their whole lives kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you think about it, Dad is technically a co-creator of this podcast.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. It wouldn't be here without him.
It's true. No podcast if no dad.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're responsible for that.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome, world.
You're a big fan of our podcast. So what do we start with?
You usually start with comic news.
Correct.
Oh, he's got it right. Most people don't get that right.
And you said that you're bringing some news with you today?
Yes, absolutely. I did some research as requested.
Nice.
In order to really enhance this whole podcast. So,
like a good
reporter. You guys
reporter.
ready for it?
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Are you guys ready for it?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So, Daniel, Nathan.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did you know that Sharon Stone's Basic Instinct is getting a comic book adaptation done?
What is that?
Sharon Stone. Writer?
Have you ever seen the movie Basic Instinct?
No.
Oh gosh, it came out in about 1996, and I know that's about the time that you were born.
About the time? What do you mean? It was around there, right?
So yeah,
plus or minus 2 years.
So this movie was actually very controversial because of the erotic nature of it, and it had Sharon Stone, Michael Douglas, Gina Gershon in it, and ultimately it made a box office hit, but it was really kind of because of the erotic nature of it. But the premise of the movie was more about ice pick killings and a woman who was allegedly an ice pick killer and her relationship with this police officer who was investigating her. And so, I mean, it made big money too. Hold on, I even wrote down some stats here.
Oh, some
nice.
box office numbers?
It was 352 million in box office worldwide.
Okay.
Pretty good.
What was the budget?
That was good. I have no idea.
Probably less.
Yeah, good try.
Hopefully.
Good try. And it was actually nominated for 2 Oscars. So this is actually a really good movie. It holds up well. I think it holds up well. Even the eroticism probably holds up well. But
that's good.
I know you
Movies
guys
haven't changed.
Yeah, that doesn't change too much. So is it a continuation of the story?
Yeah, they're basically continuing this story out and basically following Sharon Stone's character, who's allegedly the killer and wrote about these killings in books, and so she became a famous famous author. So, I mean, all these ice pick killer kind of things.
Is her confession
essentially? What's
Wait,
that?
so she's writing books about herself, like
She's writing books
autobiographical?
about killings by a person who kills, and ultimately, a lot of people thought that she was actually the killer in the movie. So if you haven't watched it, absolutely watch it. All your readers and podcast followers should watch it too. It's actually really good. And it holds up well.
Do you know like the publisher or anything like that?
Not the publisher, but I do know, and you may
when
know.
it's coming?
I don't, but ultimately the Vanessa Del Rey will be the illustrator for the new comic series based on Ice Pick Murders.
I've heard that name. Couldn't tell you what she's done. Hold on.
So is the original author writing the comic?
I don't think he is. The movie itself, I think, was scripted, and so they're just doing an adaptation to this and making it go further. But I saw some of the artwork, and it's actually really, really cool.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
Vanessa Del Rey has done some like Vampirella.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So really sexy comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So probably some eroticism.
Yeah. Should be perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
I approve.
Seems like
good news. I had no idea that was happening. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
I might even saw it and not really like know what it meant, you know?
Oh, she also did the Witcher comic book that came out. Yeah.
Okay.
So good stuff.
Cool.
Good news. Way more research as well. We're just like, hey, this is happening, and then we move on.
And you like my old school way of going about it?
Yeah, you've actually written
down.
it down.
Oh yeah,
which is awesome. I just screenshot whatever headline I see, and I'm like, this is happening.
Nathan, Marvel's Echo, that show that they are coming out with.
Yeah.
It's missing from Disney's release calendar.
Ooh.
But they never said like
it's not happening.
Whether or not it's not happening, you know? So they may have like just forgotten to put it on there.
I don't think that's the case.
It's possible. It's supposed to come out in November.
Was it like on one of those timeline things? Oh, okay. Maybe I don't think they forget. Probably won't happen.
Probably.
Daniel, have you heard of TMNT The Last Ronin?
Yeah. It's getting a video game.
Yeah. So Dad, the Last Ronin is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic set in the future where 3 of the 4 turtles have died. And the last turtle is like trying to avenge them pretty much, but you don't know which turtle it is because he's wearing not one of the famous colors. And so you kind of have to like guess who it is. It's revealed at the end of the first issue, but
he's wearing black. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And
he's got all of their weapons.
He's got all their weapons like, together, and he's trying to like avenge his family. And it was pretty popular comic book. Mm-hmm. And now it's getting a video game. So
that's awesome. I hope it's Leonardo. He was my favorite.
I'm pretty sure it was Raphael, right? Or was it Michelangelo?
Michelangelo. Okay. Spoilers. It's not.
Way better painter anyway.
But that's cool. I wasn't like really expecting this because the book only came out like 4 years ago, something like that. Nah.
3 should wrap up.
Yeah. But yeah, it's cool that it got that level of popularity.
It had like, there's like this like fan made animated thing of like The Last Ronin. It was just like what's that thing where you like stab yourself?
Seppuku?
Yeah, it was like a video of that, like an animation, and that got like super fucking popular. So I think like that could have helped.
Yeah, I think people love the idea of just a family crumbling and there's only one left.
Yeah,
and that person's trying to like avenge them. So I don't know.
And leading someone to suicide, they love it.
Yeah, people love it.
Right. Nathan, you saw the movie Talk to Me?
I did. Yeah,
they're making a Talk to Me.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do. The sequel has been confirmed and in the works.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Is it going to be the other hand or a foot?
We'll see. No, we know nothing.
Yeah. Have you heard of that movie?
No.
It's really good. It's like an indie horror movie that came out, and basically you hold like a stone hand or like a bust of like a hand kind of, and you say "talk to me," and then you can talk to spirits. Ooh. But you can only talk to them for 90 seconds or else bad shit happens, and bad shit happened in that movie. So
yeah, you can't open up that spiritual realm without something kind of
without some consequences.
Right? Yeah,
but yeah, absolutely. It was really good. So that's cool. They're getting another one.
Yeah.
There's a new Thanos series that's going to come out, and he's going to face a new Illuminati.
Okay.
I just saw that. Not nothing too exciting there, I guess.
Any
Christopher Cantwell writing.
Okay.
And that's the only person I know. So, and Jason Aaron's going to write Batman Off-World is what the series is called. So that's pretty cool.
Like in space?
That's what Off-World means. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was like
what kind of Off-World,
like an Elseworlds kind of thing.
No, I don't think that's what I mean, it probably is like an Elseworld story because I doubt it's like in continuity.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah.
Has he done DC stuff?
Yeah.
Like what?
He did The Penguin, a one shot of The Penguin, and that's all I could remember.
Okay, yeah, so not a lot.
But he's a good writer. We like him.
Nathan, are you missing the show The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Well, buckle up because it's getting Daryl Dixon is getting his own spin-off show.
Yes.
There was a
Called Dixon?
called Walking Dead Daryl Dixon.
It's not clever. That's not clever. I'm not excited
Doesn't that
anymore.
just
Creative title. Maybe the character will carry it through though.
Make it like Walking Dixon.
Whistling Dixon.
Yeah.
That'll be coming September 10th on AMC Plus.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny that they realize that he's the best part of that show, and they're like, we should do a show.
Let's just double down
They did
here.
the Negan one too. Like the only two good parts of the show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And
Is his dog still around?
He's got a dog?
Whose dog?
Yeah.
When does he get a dog?
Daryl. Remember he had that
have you
dog
watched
that was
all of
running
it?
around all over the place?
I think
Yeah.
you got further than I did on Walking Dead. So
I
I'm not
stopped
sure.
like season 5 or 6.
Okay.
I stopped like 8, I think.
What kind of dog?
Yeah, he had a dog, like a German Shepherd.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Does he have a
Hopefully the
crossbow?
dog's in there.
What's that?
Does the dog have a crossbow?
No.
What kind of weapon?
But he does chew on zombies though.
That seems
He
unhealthy.
does jump on them and chews on them. and that kind of stuff.
Unsanitary.
Do dogs not get zombied?
They can get bitten and be zombied.
Yes.
Really?
They can.
It's
But
not like
he does the biting versus the biting coming his way.
So if you
I'm
consume
wondering.
zombie, you don't become zombie?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Probably not great tasting.
It seems like that seems like a big continuity error or plot error.
Yeah, I don't think it like goes the other way. Like if you bite a zombie, you become a zombie. Or maybe if you bite a zombie, they become good again.
When you eat something, it goes in your blood. You understand? Or
That's
you get
true.
the
He's
nutrients.
not
That's
eating.
true.
He's just biting to stop him.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he'll swallow like a little bit of zombie blood or something. I don't like it.
Why are you trying
Well,
to kill the dog? Nathan?
I'm not trying to kill the dog.
Sounds like
I'm
you're trying to kill
concerned
the-
for the dog.
Apparently the ASPCA thinks it's okay because, obviously it showed up on TV, so
Yeah.
we're good.
Okay, that's fair. We got a teaser
Today?
for the Scott Pilgrim anime.
Yeah,
coming
Scott
out
Pilgrim takes off.
November 17th.
Yes, sir.
You've seen the Scott Pilgrim movie
Versus
Yes.
Scott Pilgrim versus
Yes.
the world
with Michael
Very-
Cera.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
and
Yep.
lots of people.
Lots of people.
That's based off of a comic, and it's getting like an animated adaptation of that same story, but more in like the style of the artwork from the comic.
Okay.
And that'll be coming out in November.
And
And it's
lots-
got everyone in that movie voice acting for it. So
I always
For
thought Michael
instance-
Cera was a really strange cast for that position or for that character.
He's very awkward.
I think I don't
But
know.
I think that's the point.
We haven't read it, so we don't really know if he's good for it necessarily.
It's probably like
Oh,
one of the
okay.
most popular comic book things that people don't know comes from a comic book. But yeah,
Well,
we
we'll
never
get to
read
it now.
Yeah.
We have a due date.
November 17th is when that episode will come out.
Yeah,
So- But
Cool.
Dad, have you heard of? Here's some people involved. Have you heard of Chris Evans,
Yes.
Captain America?
Captain America,
He's in the
yes.
show. Brie
Nice.
Larson, Captain Marvel's in there.
Okay.
Brandon Routh, Kieran Culkin, the other Culkin.
Yes.
The one that was in Succession.
Succession. He was excellent in that.
he is in that.
He
Yeah.
was excellent in that.
Anna Kendrick.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
She's in there. Jason Schwartzman, tons of people. So
Wow, that's
they're
a
all,
big
They're all
cast.
coming back.
Stacked cast.
It's
yeah.
weird because they all got super famous after that movie.
Yeah.
You know,
It's because of that movie.
there's also
It's
like
because of
Aubrey
that-
Plaza, who I think is just like
Yeah.
got much more famous. So tons of people.
and
That's
then
it.
Elizabeth
Warren.
Winstead. Elizabeth Winstead.
Oh yeah, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Mary
Yeah,
Elizabeth.
totally got. I think that was probably the peak.
Like the main oh yeah, probably peak for
That was
her.
probably her peak.
What was she in before that?
Before, I don't know, but she was in Birds of Prey.
Yeah, there's something else that she was like really big for.
I don't remember.
Anyway, Dad, couple questions for you.
Yes.
How do you feel about comics as like a medium?
I will say that you guys have changed my life for the better and possibly for the worse, depending
us
on
or the comics.
Not talk about the comics.
Well, no,
when we
honestly,
were born or when we showed you comics?
yes.
rank those two things right now.
I won't do it. Okay. Only because
Why not? Like,
well,
it should be an easy answer.
it is an easy answer.
Comics first.
It is an easy answer at this point, because the one that we had, or the one that you gave me, the Flintstone ones, it was good. It had really good graphics and things like that, and a good storyline. But I realized on a plane, because I had to go travel this last week, that reading comics on a plane is
it's my favorite.
It's the coolest thing ever.
I fucking love reading on a plane.
And it's so quick. You don't have to worry about like reaching into that little pocket and reading all that crud that
Sky
the
Mall and
airline
shit.
and Sky Mall and all that stuff.
The safety
I know most
directions.
people.
I still check the Sky Mall first.
I know most people are actually watching TV or shows on Wi-Fi nowadays, but this was really nice to be able to just kind of skim through. It's light reading. It made the flight go by in no time. And of course, you've got your earphones on, so you could be having like jazz or something in the background, and boom, before you know it, you're landing.
Wow, listen to jazz while reading comics. I've never
Heck
done
yeah,
that.
man.
What a vibe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like it. I will probably finish this series that we're going to talk about, and maybe explore a few more that I thought was interesting that are parallels to this.
Okay.
Yeah, I love planes because I just bring a bunch of comics. And I'm like, Sophie, I can't even talk to you on this plane.
I'm busy.
I got too much to
I'm going to be
do.
busy. You watch your show, your little programs. Okay.
My schedule's packed.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I bring like too much. So
So what are your like overall thoughts about what we read today?
we read Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle.
Blue Beetle. I thought it was good. I won't say great, just because there were some things in there I was expecting, just as this being the first, or at least for me, one of the Latino kind of superheroes and things like that. So I was expecting maybe some more crossover things that ultimately I could relate to. Being Jaime, and he's the main character, Jaime Reyes, Puerto Gallos. That's what they mean when you have a person of the same name.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so remember that.
Wow, we're learning.
What is it? What was it?
Tocayo.
Tocayo?
Uh-huh.
So
It's
I'm Tocayo with like Cable, who's
Yeah.
Nathan, and another person probably.
Yeah.
Who are you Tocayo with?
Iron Fist.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's it.
Tokayo with like a T or a D?
T.
Tokayo.
Okay, gotcha.
Tocayo.
Is that a Mexican restaurant?
I don't know.
That's Macayos.
No.
Or
There's a new one.
Macayos.
Macayos, as I call it.
Anyway.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the art. Obviously, there were with the issues that we had, there were a couple illustrators or what do they call them?
Just artists. Yeah, pencilers.
Pencilers.
Because
those kind of
sometimes
things.
if you're doing it digitally, they don't really split them up too much. But traditional artwork is penciling, and then you ink over it to have like the final lines.
Okay.
And pencils are kind of like the loose sort of representation of like the writing to the page, and then you kind of ink the final stuff.
Yeah.
So the pencilers put like the main ideas and compositions and stuff, while the inkers, if they are different, sometimes you'll ink yourself, but they'll put like the final touches on it.
And then the
Yeah.
colorists. Yeah.
Yeah, the penciler for the first couple, what was his name?
Coley Hamner, I believe.
Coley Hamner, yeah. I thought he did a really good job, but it seemed kind of innocent to me.
Yeah,
and then there
sure.
was another penciler that came in a little bit later. I think it was a female by the last name of Martin, Cynthia Martin. Mm-hmm. I loved her stuff. Her stuff, it was way more artistic for me, and the facial expressions and just the lines in the face. I don't know. It just had a different. It hit differently for me.
I'm not a big fan of Coley Hamner, like his stuff. So I kind of felt the same. I'm actually really surprised you caught that there were different like pencilers and stuff from issue to issue.
Yeah,
because for the most
sometimes
part they were pretty similar. Sometimes it could be like super jarring, where you like fall in love with like a certain style and then they change it up on you and everything feels like it's thrown off.
Yeah, but I think it was in the face that I noticed it.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
the faces where Hamner was, it was a little bit more innocent. There wasn't a lot of character to the face, and then with Martin, she did a fantastic job of creating more facial expression and I don't know, just image to me.
Yeah.
which I thought was cool.
That's something we always look for.
I will say that Hamner crushed it with this Blue Beetle design though, like because I think he's the
Yeah.
one that actually designed the suit,
Okay.
and it's really cool looking. So I think he nailed that. Yeah. Overall, I would say that I didn't really enjoy this book that much. I don't know if you got the same vibe.
Yeah, not really.
I've just read things that are like better, and this is kind of interesting because it's like right in the middle of a bunch of continuity. So they're talking about stuff that like we didn't see, and like I don't even know what they're talking about because they don't even like elaborate on that much. Because Jaime's like, oh, I was helping the Justice League with some random thing, and then I like disappeared, and I was like, okay, well that's a lot.
What
For
was it?
a whole last year
what
or
happened?
whatever,
Like, yeah, please tell me. And so like that's not like a huge part of the book. You're just supposed to know that like he got this suit, doesn't really know what it is, and he was gone for a year. Yeah. But I kind of knowing the full details of the story without having to read something else.
Well, and
it should be like all encompassing.
Yeah, with this being the introductory, issues, you would think that there would be a little bit more foundation built there.
Yeah,
I was confused because it flashed back to, Green Lantern coming after him in the first part of it, and I'm like, okay, what does Green Lantern have to do with this? And then, obviously there was, a lot of other things that was just kind of laying the foundation, so it was moving back and forth. But to your point, I had no context.
Yeah. There was one thing at the end where it's supposed to be like a big twist, and I was like, I thought we knew that the whole time. And so I was like, not very big cliffhangers here as well.
What was it though? What was the big?
Someone came in and he's like, "It's not magic, it's alien tech." And
well,
I'm like,
we know that, just
Yeah.
because like of context, from other things, seeing him in other stuff, and seeing like the trailer for like the movie and shit.
I guess so. But like, I thought
it kind of looked like a stone kind of thing, to where like it could have been like some sort of Egyptian magic thing.
I guess my context is maybe a little bit different, but it was just like not like a crazy thing.
But like back in like 2006, that would have been news,
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Also, I don't think this is his first appearance necessarily.
No, it's not.
So even though it is like his first series, the Jaime Reyes, because there's been different Blue Beetles as well. Two other ones, I believe. There's like Ted Cord, and then there's one before him. Ted Cord's like, I think if you were like Google Blue Beetle right now, like Ted Cord would be the one that comes up, or maybe not now because of the movie coming out. But so there's multiple different ones, which happens because there's like legacy characters and stuff.
The Ted Cord one was more like a Batman kind of. He just like had like a goofy suit and like a bunch of tech and stuff, and he was like a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever.
Yeah.
And
so I think they could do it. I mean, I would say like Jaime Reyes is kind of like a Miles Morales. Like they're both Spider-Man, but they're just like slightly different. But so they could be done well.
Yeah.
But should we get into it?
I thought, Nathan.
What did you think?
I never thought a comic would make me less excited for a movie. Dude. But this one did it.
I definitely think the movie will be better than this comic.
Yeah, definitely.
I hear it's doing okay on at least some of the reviews.
It's doing better than expected, but it wasn't expected to do great. So I don't know.
Critics has given it 84% on Rotten Tomatoes so far.
Oh, okay. Which is higher than I thought.
Pretty fucking solid. Yeah. But we'll see. The dialogue is like terrible in this. It was like not very creative. It was very, it felt like they just wrote it and just like kept rolling. Like they didn't like try and edit this or like make it talk like how people talk.
Yeah.
There's one line, it's like where they're crossing a street and they almost get hit by a car and they're like, we're walking here. I'm like, that's just lazy.
Yeah, it does seem lazy. Yeah. I also noticed that like all the things that should be in a comic book like are here. But it's not but it seems like they're doing that to like check off a box or something,
Yeah. This seems like this doesn't seem like their first appearance kind of like book. It seems like just like this seems like a reboot, like the third or fourth reboot of the Blue Beetle comic.
And like they didn't like understand.
Like surely the reboots of this of Blue Beetle are better.
I've heard
like they like have to be.
I've heard that Blue Beetle Graduation Day is supposed to be pretty good.
Oh yeah, that just came out.
Yeah. Well, it was originally like a limited series of like 6 issues, I think, and then they made it an ongoing with the same like creative team because people liked it so much. So
wow,
that probably speaks to how good it is. So maybe we should have done that, but
you got to get the origins.
Yeah. So let's get into it. So this issue's like told non-linearly. So like in the present, the Blue Beetle crashes on Earth like a meteor and is immediately attacked by Green Lantern Guy Gardner. And Green Lantern notices that he's fighting a kid, and then he stops and then he leaves. But then the armor like powers down and it leaves Jaime naked, and it like there's a thing that like fuses to his spine. So again, I love the Blue Beetle design. I think he nailed that. There's a thing like in the back matter where he's like, I think a good character needs like a good silhouette, and he's got like the two like little spike beetle things coming out of the shoulders.
Yeah.
And I like the color scheme, just the blue and black. Pretty cool.
So this is Guy Gardner. He's like the third human Green Lantern, third or fourth.
Very good.
Is it third or fourth?
Third.
Well, if like Alan Scott's first.
Oh, okay, fourth.
Got him.
I didn't know if you were going that technical.
Stumped.
Always. But he's he's kind of seen as like the douchey one. Yeah.
Okay.
Like no one really likes him. He's always like starting a fight kind of thing. He might have had a good reason to be like attacking this alien or whatever. But yeah, no one really likes him. He has a bowl cut in a lot of continuity, so it's like this like ginger bowl cut, and so he just looks ridiculous too.
Yeah, he's pretty much like the most hated one. I think he's fine. I think he has his place, you know. But there's a ton of Green Lanterns. But
okay,
yeah, because he views this as like an alien threat. He's an alien cop, or he's a space cop. So he's like, okay, I better go handle this. But then he realizes he's fighting a kid. So
he's not in the Justice League.
He's in the Justice League of America,
which is different.
Sometimes in the Justice League International.
Sometimes he's like dead. You know, I don't know. He has been.
Think of it like a football team. Like the roster this year is not the same as the roster last year. It just fucking changes all the time.
He's like second string, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not Messi in soccer.
He's like the Carson Wentz of the Green Lanterns. You know.
Yeah.
He could be a free agent right now. You know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. He's like the person they would call in like third if like the other two cool Green Lanterns died, you know?
Gotcha.
So it's very interesting that they chose to use him in this. Maybe like Hal Jordan was busy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in this.
Anyway.
I didn't expect to see Green Lantern in this, so I was kind of excited. I think when I see Green Lantern, I'm like, what do they do? Like with their light constructs, like their powers. Mm-hmm. And I like it when they're really creative. The only thing he does here is he has like a jackhammer and he like jackhammers him into the moon, which I thought was kind of fun. That's the only cool thing. Everything else is just like a generic like blast. And so
yeah,
I was middling, you know, middling appearance.
Yeah. First episode for me didn't hit very hard either.
Yeah.
It was, again, I thought it was like character setup and those kind of things. Now hearing what you guys know, there's already some character development in other books and those kind of things, but I'm only seeing it for the first time. So
yeah,
I'm seeing it kind of like with fresh eyes.
Yeah, which is good and bad, I think, because, you know, you want like established characters and reasons for them to be there. Sometimes it could just be fun to like see a character that you like come in. But in
you
my
can
case,
recognize it as like a Green Lantern, right?
Yeah.
So,
and it could be a way like, oh, I want to see what this guy's about. So you read like Green Lantern or whatever. But I think for new readers, it's a little bit, this book in particular, I think is kind of tough.
Couldn't they have done a better setting than El Paso, Texas, though?
Yeah, it was a little strange.
I was like, why not Miami? Something that's a little bit sexier city, right? Instead of, but I know that
one
you know,
of the
origins.
Yeah.
Okay, the origins are
not everyone can
Latino.
be from like LA and New York, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so there's even like a Marvel superhero from Surprise, Arizona.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nova.
Yeah, Nova.
I love it. No, but he doesn't go.
What's his name? His like name?
Dude. I should know
not
this.
Dude.
It's like Sam. Sam or something?
So it's Richard Rider and Sam.
I looked up Kid Nova in a fashion brain and came up. Hold on. No, not Richard Rider. Dude. Sam Alexander. It was Sam. Sam Alexander is his name.
Ah.
Wow.
But yeah, just
good pop quiz.
just some random places people are just like from, you know?
But yeah, El Paso was strange.
Yeah. And then they did just enough of like Spanish words, Spanish words. I just said it.
And you're the 100% one.
I know, I'm 100% Mexican, 50-50.
I had to look up like a map because I'm like, they're just going to like Mexico, like in the middle of the day, just randomly.
Juarez is right across the Rio Grande there.
Yeah, and like there's like a girl in here, I forget her name, but she lives in Mexico but goes to school in El Paso. I'm like, that's just like her commute is like the border.
Just a ginormous commute.
Yeah, I'm like, that's bizarre. I thought she would have moved schools or something, but now it's like literally like the same city. It's like Kansas City.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that the books along the way progressively kind of show family, because that, to me, again, that's relatable from the culture that we're all from, right? Mm-hmm. It's just family comes first, those kind of things, and then, you know, you're trying to take care of your kids and those kind of things. So the father figure kind of hit home for me.
It would have been fun to see Jaime in a family reunion and there's like 100 people there. And it's like, oh, hi, have I met you? Yeah, like 50 years ago.
Yeah, because all of our parties are,
I'm like, okay, who am I meeting today? Who am I not meeting
first,
today?
Second, third cousins. Absolutely.
I like how these like pages like have a background color behind the panels, like a little
just yellow.
Yeah, like just yellow or like just blue. It's kind of weird, but I kind of appreciate it for some reason.
Yeah, it is. It's bold,
yeah,
I would say.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do one color, someone would just do blue and call it a day and it would be fine.
And it's sort of like the same like color palette of like whatever, you know, we're looking at kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I will say it's kind of interesting with this Green Lantern thing. apparently like his alien tech affects his Green Lantern power ring, and it says that he like gives him a migraine or something. So I think that's why they had a Green Lantern in there specifically to have it interact. But then that like never comes up again. So it's like it's just there to be like, okay, something's going on, I guess. But the other part of the issue, which is in the past, Jaime and his friends Paco and Brenda first discover the Blue Beetle under some sand, just at some random place.
No, he's the Blue Beetle. It's called the Scarab, Nathan.
Okay, the Scarab. They find the Scarab like just randomly in some sand.
Yeah.
At some place
One
with
of the
no significance.
One of the universe's most powerful weapons, just in some dirt.
In some dirt.
In
Someone
El
dropped
Paso.
it, I guess.
Yeah.
You know. And that night, he has like a strange dream in a language he doesn't like know. So it's weird to have a dream in that language. And then
It's a Mexican language.
Yeah, the Mexican language.
It certainly wasn't Spanish
New
because I
language
couldn't.
just dropped.
It was alien language because
Yeah.
I could not make out
The alien speaks Mexican. And then he sees a woman with no eyes just on his way to school. And then the Scarab's like, don't fuck with this woman, it seems like. So big lesson learned here. Don't steal things.
Yep.
I think that's first and foremost. But I do like how the like alien language looks. Like I always am interested in how they letter like alien languages, and how, you know, sometimes it seems pretty lazy and they just like replace a letter with some other like marking. But this one I think seems to go like a step further, and it has all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah.
So I like that aspect of it. The family dynamic we talked about, but it seems like the parents are just constantly worrying about school and whatnot and being like, focus on your work. And I'm like, yep, that sounds about right.
Yep.
But other than that, that's pretty much issue 1.
The dad in this also has a goatee. I thought that was fun.
that's where I was like, okay, so every dad is like this.
Does every Mexican dad have a goatee?
You're
It's
supposed
just
to.
a requirement.
Yes,
Google
it
like
is.
Mexican dad, and then you came up and
Do
he's like,
I have to
okay,
get it? Do I have to get a goatee if I become a dad?
You will. You will.
Oh, it'll start to connect like
Yeah.
right here.
It'll be like
Yeah.
Blue Beetle. It'll just come out and you're like, ah.
It'll just finally connect for you. That's
Oh,
good.
my
I'm
God.
so happy for you.
Oh no.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah. So issue 2, Jaime later at school sees the lady with no eyes, and she's with a man, and apparently they have an invisible field around them so that Jaime is the only one that sees them. And the woman has like a weird reaction to Jaime and passes out. And then the guy's like, the posse's gonna come kick your ass later or whatever. And then the posse comes at him later when he's at his like dad's garage, and they all have powers. And then the armor just kind of like starts fighting them off. This super gang is so lame to me.
Big time.
There's a short guy that jumps and his name is Thump. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
And then there's a cholo looking dude whose sweat is acidic.
That's pretty funny.
And you only see it once. This is the only time you see it.
it's
and
a
it
good
just,
place to be for that power.
it just
Nathan.
kind of burns his clothes. And that's the only time we ever see this guy get active. And I'm like, what the fuck? I do like how he has the top buttons though for his shirt. I think that's funny.
Yeah. I mean, that's old school cholo right there, man. Just
That
like
is
the
old
top
school cholo.
button and t-shirt underneath it. It's
Yeah.
good stuff. They even stand sometimes with their heels together and their toes out. It's amazing.
There's a girl named Bonita.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is the best name.
You didn't like Concha?
No,
Concha was
Bonita.
in there. Yeah. No, there was another lady named Concha. I guess it was just reference
What does
to
that
a
mean?
cousin or something like that. It's just a name. I have no idea.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Isn't that like a type of pan dulce? The pink one that looks like a shell? Isn't that like concha? Okay, I'm thinking something else.
Pan de
then.
huevo.
Bonita means like pretty,
I think
right?
you're thinking pan de huevo.
Yeah, but she's talking about
Yeah,
concha,
concha.
which is some.
But Bonita means like just pretty, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job, Nathan.
Yeah, I do that
Well
one.
done. You speak well, Mexican.
And I was like, okay, there's one girl in this squad and she's named Pretty. Very clever.
The sign language doesn't hold you back.
And then in the present, Jaime is like stumbling around naked. So he steals some like Goodwill clothes. There's the owner of that thing. He like shows up. He like has him at gunpoint and he's like, actually, you seem all right. And so he gives him a ride home. And when he gets home, he finds out that he wasn't gone for just like a night. He's been gone for an entire year.
The guy at this store was wearing an American Idol shirt. I thought that was funny.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Where do you see that? Oh yeah, you did.
Just his shirt. Just look
Dude,
at it.
remember that show was
American
a
Idol?
fucking banger? Like everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, like
I would go to school and be like, "Did you see fucking what's his face's performance?
It's so good with that song." Like,
Remember when we were watching and the bald dude got eliminated?
Chris Daughtry.
Yeah, Chris Daughtry, and we cried.
That's right.
I still cry about it.
I still cry about it. He got robbed. To be fair, even the person that wasn't eliminated was surprised. I remember that day very clearly.
I watched this like fan made like Joker thing about like Arkham Asylum is on YouTube.
Okay.
And Chris Daughtry was playing Hugo Strange in that.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that bizarre?
That is weird. I didn't know he like acted.
I don't think he does. He was just in that, you know?
Whoa, like before American Idol?
No.
Oh, okay. It's a relevant question.
Way after fame, yes.
It's a relevant question. Maybe he was trying to get famous and was like, I'll be Hugo Strange.
No, it was like only a couple years
The
ago.
best Batman villain, Hugo Strange. That's so weird.
Yeah. I'll just send it to you.
I remember like going to school and being like, people would talk about American Idol. So yeah, that show ripped. But yeah, kind of a cool twist. He's been gone for like a whole year because he gets into his room and like his sister's living there, like in that room now, which seems weird.
Yeah.
Because if we
Maybe
disappear,
it's a bigger room. Yeah.
if we disappear, it's not like be like, all right, we're switching up the whole dynamic now.
Well, we turned your room into a workout room.
Yeah, but it's not like I disappeared and then Carter was like,
To
"Oh,
them you
I
did.
want Daniel's or I want Nathan's room." You know,
That's
how
true.
long did that take? You think for Milagro to move into Jaime's room?
Maybe a few months.
I would say like
Because
after,
like that's
after
like that's like really giving up.
after
you know?
6 months,
I'm sure
I
they
think,
just switched the furniture and stuff. They didn't like get rid of his shit, but like
no, that's fair. I would say probably like 6 months, and it's like, okay, he's really not coming back. He's probably dead.
I mean, like if I disappeared and clearly had a superior room and like size and whatnot, and like maybe I have 2 closets.
Do you think the
Kinda like
sister
my old
brought-
apartment.
Do you think the
When-
sister brought it up? It was like, "Can I get his room now?" Or like,
I don't know when he's coming back.
listen,
the room's just going to waste.
He hasn't sent a letter, you know. So yeah, he's been gone for a year. So issue 3.
But before you move on to the next
Oh,
one,
yeah.
Here's the interesting thing for me. The dad looks totally different, right? I mean, he's using a cane.
He's weathered.
He's super weathered and a lot skinnier than what he was before. And yet the family didn't say anything about the fact that what was happening with him for a long time. In fact,
Super
I think
bizarre.
it wasn't. Yeah,
It wasn't until like the last issue, I think.
yeah,
They-
it was
they-
weird, and it wasn't even the family that mentioned it. It was the posse, or no, his friend Paco. His friend
Yeah.
Paco talked about
Dude,
there was
he
something
was
there.
fatter before. I didn't even realize.
Really? I noticed that
I
immediately.
didn't,
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
And it was, I know at
job.
least in this episode, I mean, he had just come back, and so they're just in shock and everything. But
Yeah.
in the subsequent episode or subsequent issue, they didn't mention anything.
Yeah,
it was
Jaime's
weird.
not like, "You're looking good," you know.
I'm just glad
Other
it
than
like
King.
wasn't any kind of like illness or something. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is about to get like weirdly heavy, you know?
Yeah.
But it was just like we learned about what it is later, but that was kind of bizarre. Like,
Right.
yeah, he disappeared for a year. Was it his fault? Probably not. You just probably want to get like a little bit up to speed on whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, that's
So-
it. There's my 2 cents.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing to like notice because I didn't even realize. I'm like, yeah, that's the dad.
Yeah.
So issue 3, we see like a tough tattooed guy hunting Jaime, and that's it. That's all we see of him. We just know he's hunting Jaime.
Is that Peacemaker?
Apparently, it's Peacemaker.
Because he's got a big old tattoo saying Peacemaker on it. So
It does say Peacemaker. I didn't realize. I'm like,
What
cool.
gave it away?
I saw a panel
looked-
earlier. It said peace. I'm like, I wonder if it says maker on his forearm. And then this panel shows it very
I
clearly.
just saw the flames, and I'm like, okay, it's just some guy with tattoos.
So-
Which is weird.
This
'cause
is
I
an
don't think he was.
inferior like design. They were trying to take his old design and make him cooler, and it didn't work.
Yeah, this is before Peacemaker obviously was like anything.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was still like around and like
Was he
the
this
golden
old
age.
though?
What?
Like OG Peacemaker? Was he like an old guy?
I don't think so. I
don't think so either. It seems weird that
an
he's
adult. Oh, here's another like great example of like the dialogue because he like Peacemaker like beats up a dude that's robbing like a convenience store.
Yeah.
And then he's like, keep the change.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
I'm like, you didn't even pay for anything. Like you just beat up like hit a man with a gun. Like that was it.
he didn't pay for anything. That's really fun. Or no, he has like a little sody pop in his hands.
He didn't pay for it.
He gave him money, didn't he? Wait, no. Does he take? He
I see
doesn't-
no
He
transaction.
doesn't take the can with him. He just gives him money and says, "Keep the change." The continuity of this book is all over the place.
It really is.
Well, he's got $1 in his hand, and on
He
the
just
first
gives the money,
page-
but he doesn't have the can that he was, I assume, buying.
Yeah, must have chugged it or something.
So
we have continuity errors already.
Jaime is trying to explain why he disappeared, and then he shows them the Scarab armor. Understandably, they get freaked out, and Jaime's dad has to be like, dude, this is like too much all at once. And then also the dad walks with a cane now. So yeah, this would be a lot to process. I don't know. Your son comes back,
run away, but
it would be weird because like it comes out of his skin. So it's like
it seems like it wraps around him kind of thing. Not like it just comes out of his pores.
Well, I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe it does wrap around him, but he's also smoking after the fact, which is a weird detail.
He's steaming.
Steaming. He's got a cigarette in his hand. No, but
he's just chain smoking in the house. Like,
it's just wrong.
Yeah.
You'll get the chunkla for that.
But it would freak you out.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that someone would run away.
And I don't know how old his sister's supposed to be, but
yeah. And it's funny that dad's like, dude, this is too much right now. We got to figure this out later. There was an artist change. I thought it was pretty subtle because it seems like he still kind of follows the general like framework of Coley Hamner, kind of like blocky kind of characters
he
almost.
was like, it seems like it was, I don't know if that's how like their artwork is normally, but at least like a decent impression of Coley Hamner's stuff.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll change the artist and it's like very clear there's like a distinct difference.
I noticed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed it. I thought the facial expressions were better.
But did you think that the like vibe of the book changed?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I just thought it just dialed it in a little bit more for me. And in the one scene where he's coming out of the suit and normally he's naked during that time, and then the suit basically tells him
he's like,
I can make clothes for you. He's like, oh, that was nice for me to get back to your dialogue. Oh, that would have been nice to know earlier.
Yeah. Last issue, this would have been awesome.
Yeah. But I think that one where his suit's kind of coming off or melting off or whatever it does, I'm not real sure where it goes. It probably just goes back up into the Scarab, but
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see the clothes kind of come back on, and it was a good scene.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Jaime starts experimenting with the armor. He discovers it can make clothes, which is nice, and it can also locate anyone he's ever met ever.
Okay, so Blue Beetle is like a little OP.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's like alien tech.
I think it should just be able to like make some weapons and
like maybe shoot something, kind of like a cyborg
fly and whatnot. Yeah.
But yeah, it seems very convenient when he discovers things about a suit, which is why like I don't really like a whole lot of magic or like fantasy stories, because it'll be like, oh man, thank God I have this one spell that I've never used
That'll
ever.
save the entire day.
Yeah. So that's kind of like what this feels like.
Yeah.
Because he immediately uses it to find Paco at the border, and he's with that like posse dude that can make things invisible. And then they're attacked by some Men in Black looking guys, and so Blue Beetle steps in. But like when he flies in and he has like an armor, or he has like the shield, like a Captain America looking shield, I'm like, okay, I think that works because it's not like overpowered. He's just using a shield.
Yeah.
But the fact that he can locate anybody he's ever met,
a little bizarre.
Even before he got like the armor,
right?
A little crazy. Or I like the wings as well.
Wings are cool.
Yeah, I do like that. So Paco and Jaime go to see Brenda. Who
does he even need wings? Is it more like a jetpack kind of thing?
I like to think it's like a fluttering wings that like flutter really fast, like a beetle.
I don't know. They seem a little big for that. Like, because his backpack thing kind of looks like a jetpack almost.
It does.
You know, to where like the wings be redundant.
Did we see what they look like in the trailer?
Are they gonna fucking like flap and it's just clanking?
I hope so.
No, that actually I did see the trailer, and the trailer shows it like a jetpack.
It seems like
it kind of comes out a little bit and then just kind of shoots, and
that seems like the right move.
Oh, dude, nice.
Yeah. It would be kind of cool to like. Or maybe it wouldn't be cool. Like if he had like Buzz Lightyear looking fucking shit that comes out of him like this. And it's like, holy shit, where'd that come from? But yeah, I think jetpack's the move.
For sure.
Paco and Jaime go to see Brenda, and Brenda like immediately punches him and then hugs him because like she's that kind of girl. But Brenda's aunt is La Dama, who is the leader of those Men in Black dudes.
We don't know that, do we?
I don't know. Well, the Men in Black are like, oh, we got to do this for La Dama. And then like 4 pages later, it's like, I'm La Dama. So,
oh, okay.
So Brenda's aunt is some secret person
with a code name
that we just learned about.
Yeah.
So what a great twist.
Did you see the relationship between Brenda and Jaime come in early? I mean, the love interest kind of parallel there.
I felt it was platonic.
I always like,
okay.
you can kind of see that from like a mile away, and I kind of give like the writer like the benefit of a doubt to not go that direction. It just seems so boring, you know?
Yeah. And to like introduce a girl character for them to just be the love interest isn't that interesting, you know?
No.
Yeah. Well,
Especially if it's like a group, you know?
Yeah.
And we didn't go far enough to know for sure. But
Yeah, that's true.
It could be love that's not returned and that kind of stuff later in the other issues. Who
that'd be
knows?
cool.
But, yeah, it'd be interesting.
So issue 4, Jaime meets Oracle when she hacks his computer and she offers a team up, but Jaime is bitter about the Justice League letting him disappear for a year or whatever the hell happened. I don't even know.
I think that was the crisis that he was
Maybe.
doing.
Probably.
Surely, right?
Surely. Who did Infinite Crisis? Is
The
it
writer?
Yeah, it was like Jeff Johns.
I feel like this is around like the Grant Morrison days.
I'm gonna look it up.
Just look up like Blue Beetle first appearance.
Okay, that's good. Isn't it like weird that Oracle's like avatar is this weird alien looking
Yeah.
thing?
Why not just be like, so Oracle is Batgirl, right? But she was shot by the Joker. Like she was shot in the stomach, but like it like hit her spine. And so she could like no longer walk. And so now she's kind of like this info point for like Batman and like the Bat family and stuff like that. And so she does like all this like hacking and stuff and just things they need to know, surveillance kind of things. And she's like part of the Birds of Prey, which is why like Black Canary is here right next to her.
Yeah,
the one in the
okay.
fish legs or
Fishnet.
fishnet.
No, I was
fish
going to
legs.
say
She's not
fish
fish
legs. I
legs.
don't remember that being in there.
I'm like, that was wrong. It sounded right. It felt right.
So Jaime Reyes' first appearance is in Infinite Crisis number 3,
Okay.
which was written by Keith Giffen, John Rogers, and Coley Hamner, or created by those 3 people.
Okay.
So I think, but the book itself is written by Jeff Johns. So I think they like
Okay.
swapped for like an issue or something. So that
So
Keith
they
Giffen
wrote that issue?
Yeah, Keith Giffen wrote that issue. It wasn't Jeff Johns.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's interesting. I like the part where Jaime is like, "What are you guys all like bird themed?" And they're like, "No, only one person." And I never noticed that before.
Yeah, it really doesn't make
It's
sense.
really
You
just
think
Black
it would
Canary
be all birds
because Harley Quinn's in there, Catwoman's in there. It's like you're not birds.
in Birds of Prey?
And Birds of Prey,
Catwoman?
Catwoman's in the Birds of Prey
Okay.
typically. Sometimes Huntress.
Huntress?
Yeah, not a bird.
Yeah, I know that, but I know that she's in Birds of Prey.
I never made that connection until this book, and I'm like, wow, he's spitting bars. So Jaime gets
Just change your name.
Yeah, true. Jaime gets x-rayed by their doctor, and he doesn't find any trace of the Scarab or anything weird. And then we see the tattooed man still lurking. Apparently he's Peacemaker. And then Brenda's aunt LaDama wants to recruit Blue Beetle, and he sends some dude after him. He looks like John Wick, this guy.
I thought he looked like Johnny Depp.
Ooh, that's good too.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah, that's probably better.
He looked like Johnny Depp, and I'm wondering if Johnny Depp gets any, name
royalties.
and image and likeness money from this.
If they ever
NIL
make,
money.
his name's the Diviner. I had to look that up. Yeah, so she has Johnny Depp on the payroll, apparently. So Johnny Depp goes after Jaime and his friends, and they're attacked. He uses like magic to make trees fight for him, but then the Scarab can like disrupt magic, I guess, and then he beats it.
Yeah, he makes some Groots.
Yeah, he makes 2 Groots.
It's pretty cool. One's
Yeah.
got a beard.
Dude, one's got a mean beard.
Yeah,
They were not
it's like a
Groot.
leaf beard.
Yeah. And so there's some like interesting interaction between Jaime and the armor, because as he's fighting, he's like talking to the armor, which
Yeah.
is shown as like speaking in like that alien language. And I kind of enjoyed that aspect, because Jaime will be like talking, and then in between the 2 speech bubbles, it'll be like the alien language. And so you kind of have to like infer what they're talking about.
For the movie, I'm glad the Scarab speaks English, but for this, I'm glad it's this language I don't have to learn to read, because
Yeah,
then I
exactly.
can just skip some dialogue and just guess
Yeah,
what they're
skip
trying
over
to
it.
say, you know?
Also, they find out that Jaime's dad was shot trying to protect his employee at the garage. So that's what happened to him. He got shot. Now he needs a cane. Issue 5, Jaime randomly meets the Stranger. Is that where we're on? Issue 5?
Is that the stranger?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the Stranger.
Who's the stranger? Do you know the stranger?
No, not really.
Really? It looks like kind of familiar.
He's like just this weird magic user guy.
Okay.
And so it's very weird that he's in this. But then Jaime meets the posse at their hideout to team up. And then Magic Wick, that's what I called him, recruits a big beast called the Bottom Feeder to attack the posse at their hideout.
There's got to be a better name for him than Magic Wick.
I just thought he kind of looked like. I think Johnny Depp is a much better representation of what this guy looks like.
Anyway,
but I really like this bottom feeder looking, or the bottom feeder guy.
Oh yeah, this like kind of Solomon Grundy, Hunchback of Notre Dame kind of dude.
Yeah, he's got big teeth, big eyes.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah, this one had another guest artist, Duncan Rouleau. Loved this stuff.
Yeah, this guy is really good.
This was really good.
It's a little bit more stylized, you know. It kind of reminds me of like Bitterroot, kind of. You know, just kind of the silhouettes of people, kind of like how faces are drawn, especially what was that bottom feeder, you know, just and it's all like much darker. You know, there's a lot more blacks in this, a lot of shadows.
Yeah, a little bit more noir in some of these darker scenes. And then like Brenda has lunch or whatever with Ladama, and there's a couple more like piercing stares and stuff. So I think like some of the facial expressions have like definitely like some more thought in there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So at the posse's hideout, Jaime finds out that one of their members had a baby that was taken by...
That was Bonita.
Bonita had a baby, and the baby was taken. So Jaime uses the suit to track the baby, and then he gets into the fight with Bottom Feeder. And then the tattooed guy takes the baby, and Jaime's like, well, that's good, I guess. I don't know who you are, but that's good that you have the baby now.
Dude, he like threw the baby.
The baby gets juggled in this fight.
And then it was caught by the dude on a moving motorcycle.
Yeah, and he's like, I got him now, don't worry. And Jaime's like, who the hell are you? This is like better than this guy, I guess.
This
but like,
indestructible baby right now.
He just like isn't worried about the baby. He's like, okay, lesser than two evils. I'm just going to fight the Bottom Feeder. So it's an insane scene. But the tattooed guy takes the baby. Jaime has to stop the suit from killing the Bottom Feeder. And then like the news caught the whole thing, I guess. So,
dude, look at the eyebrows on this baby.
Dude, the baby has some fucking eyebrows.
Did you see this?
Oh my god!
Like full eyebrows.
Like, how do you feel about this baby drawing? Because we something that we critique a lot is how artists draw like kids.
Yeah,
because it can be like kind of difficult. Because sometimes they'll just draw smaller people with like adult features, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes it's very jarring because you're like, that is a 30-year-old man that looks like a baby.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing is that the first time you see the baby in Bottom Feeder's hands, or when
Jaime has him,
it looks, I don't know. It
looks like a comic strip or something. Like because it's got like just dots for eyes.
Bloated. The baby's bloated, like it had too much sodium or something.
It's like a doll or something.
Yeah, the fingers are all bloated and everything.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on with like the edge of his fingers. It's very.
He's like, baby's got chunky fingers, right?
Yeah.
So I guess the baby is situationally, you know, changing and morphing. Maybe that's its power.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought the baby had hair because at this panel, it looks like he has hair, but it's actually Blue Beetle grabbing him with like a tendril thing, but he's actually bald. So it looked like to me two different babies between that issue or between that panel and this one where you see he's bald. So that's funny. I also like that Jaime is like a just completely untrained fighter. He's like fighting people. He's like, I have no idea what I'm doing. You know?
Yeah, he's just doing what the suit tells him.
Yeah. So I think that's fun. And then the last issue 6, Jaime and the posse go to La Dama's HQ to save one of their members named Probe. Bad name. Surely there was something better than Probe. Because I think it's
who's Probe?
The one with no eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be something better. So they leave Paco as a lookout while the rest go in. And then inside, they expect a prison, but they actually find like a resort for like super powered people. And they are immediately found under that dude's invisible field. So this dude's invisible field has only worked like half the time.
Like not very reliable.
No, the men in black, they're like, there's a guy right there. And then like the people in here, they're like, there's people in here. So it's not very useful. So there's like a big fight with the superpowered people in this resort. And then Paco's on the outside and some guards find him, I guess. So he's got to drive away from them. And then Blue Beetle takes the headmaster and he flies super high up in the air with him. And then the Phantom Stranger's like, oh, there you are. And I'm like, why are you here? What's the point of you being here?
Yeah.
So it just feels very random, like at this point. But then basically the fight calms down. The compound is revealed to be a hiding place for superpowered people run by La Dama, which is Brenda's aunt. And the posse convinces the people there that they can be safe outside of this place and they could join the posse. And so about half of them agree to leave and the others stay. And then Ladama and Jaime agree to keep each other's secrets as like a truce. And then the tattoo guy is like, hey, your Scarab's actually alien technology, which is crazy. It's not magic.
Whoa.
Which is not a big reveal. And then that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So this, I mean,
thank God that's over.
Yeah. honestly, like this was just like all over the place.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's better books for like a more concise story. I know that this trade is technically 12 issues. But so it was initially collected in 6, right?
Yeah.
So which is why we read 6, and I don't want to read too much. So
right.
But maybe it's better as 12. I don't know.
If we agreed on the first 12, I would have stopped you. I'm like while I'm reading this, I'm like, dude, let's just do 6. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Let's find a good stopping point and call it a day.
Yeah.
For me, it's just one of those things that I think it's progressing. And I probably will, because I'll probably finish the other issues.
We'll give you better books to read.
And that's fine. And that's fine. It's just because I want to be able to compare what I'm reading with the actual movie.
Yeah.
Because the movie seems to be it's very different in the way that it's laid out. The setting's different, right? Mm-hmm. It's got this big, almost like Miami-like city that it's set in. The characters are very different.
Yeah, there's no George Lopez in here.
No, it's not. But yeah, ultimately they still have a big name. Who is it? Who's the
George Lopez?
George Lopez. Yes. Oh, you just said
I just
George
said
Lopez. No, my bad. That's on me. But
I'm so good.
I even thought. And I want Xolo Marigenia.
Probably Zolo.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Xolo.
He seems good. He seems very genuine.
He's from Cobra Kai.
That's right. Yeah,
I didn't watch it.
He was one of the characters for Cobra Kai, and I fell in love with that whole bunch of shows and those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And more is coming out this year, so maybe we.
Is it really? Oh, I thought it was over.
Yeah,
that started as like a YouTube original. Did you know that? That's crazy.
I remember when it came out. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a big one of the main characters in Cobra Kai.
He's like the first person to get trained in the dojo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's getting bullied.
Well, Johnny's dojo, not
Johnny's dojo. Yeah,
not the
Mr. Cobra Kai's. Is that his name? Yeah. John Cobra. I don't know their names.
Johnny's.
Cobra's his middle name. It's John Kai.
I'd love for this to do well and just be entertaining, but based off of this, to your point, it's got to be better than the book.
Yeah, it's not gonna. I doubt it's gonna be like a direct adaptation of this. It's probably like they'll just take good parts of like a lot of stuff, or just make a whole new kind of origin story kind of thing with like clearly a different villain. And so which is probably for the best.
Yeah. But this will be, I think, interesting for you, because this will be the first comic book movie you saw where you've read a comic book before, like where you can compare.
Yeah.
And so, because like a lot of superhero movies are like rarely the same comic book origin, and that's probably a good thing.
Yeah, there might be like bits from it. This is probably one of the poorest like origins that we've read before, like a book.
Yeah.
Or before a movie.
Yeah, I would agree.
But anyway,
yeah, so I have faith that they'll do more interesting things in the movie, because comics are kind of weird. This comic in particular is kind of weird because it's right after a big event that clearly changed some things in a couple different books. So, but yeah, fun fact: the Green Lantern's weakness used to be like wood, just wood, and the color yellow. So it's good that they change things for the movies sometimes. And I understand.
Things have to evolve.
Yeah,
you got to build on narratives.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll go into the next segment, which is Back Matter Matters.
Back Matter Matters.
So, Dad, back matter is the stuff at the end of a trade that gives you some supplementary content rather than just buying the issues individually. When they compile it, they add some stuff. Did you check it out, the back matter?
No, I did not.
Okay, so on this, it starts at page 293. So basically, we got some like variant covers. So when a book comes out, it'll either have variants, which are done by different artists to like, show some hype for the book, I guess. Or this book had a second and third printing. So that means that the first printing completely ran out. It did pretty well in sales, I guess. So they had 2 more printings, which had different covers, which is pretty cool. We have some like character designs The mask is like it's Coley Hamner like talking about his design and what his idea was with it, and I think he like nailed it again.
Mm-hmm.
He said like the silhouette was like something he was really focusing on, and he said the mask suggests a sort of Mexican wrestler sort of motif.
Oh yeah, sure.
And like I see that, and I think that's pretty cool. That's a cool inspiration.
I agree.
Apparently, his fingers like elongate sometimes when he's fighting, and I've never seen that. So
that's pretty cool.
Maybe like if he needs to climb a tree and he can't fly, he could use those.
It's good to have backup.
And then this is how I found out that the Peacemaker is just that tattooed guy, that old tattooed guy. And I'm like, what?
Meet your maker is on his jacket.
That's pretty cool. I want a jacket
No,
like
it's
that. No, that would be really cool. I'd be like, go mess with that guy.
I hope John Cena gets that in the second season.
Dude, that would be so funny. Because that's the kind of thing his character would wear.
Or like a bumper sticker or something.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just like the designs for his family. And then the posse, including Thump. The worst character, I think, in this.
He just reminds me of like that dude from Alpha Flight.
Yeah, Puck.
Puck, yeah.
Puck is way better.
I assume so.
He jumps really high, too.
Did you get that Alpha Flight book?
No. When?
Ooh, there's a new one that came out today. Today.
I missed it?
Did you go?
Yeah.
Wow. We'll get into it.
Okay.
But anyway.
That was the book. So,
Dad, based off of what you read, what do you rate this book? We rate our books not like 5 stars or 1 out of 10 or anything like that. We'll like compare it to food or something like a Starbucks venti something and whatever your order
specifically
is. Like,
only food that has fun food sizes,
or like
not just small, medium, or large.
a cognac combo
or pizza.
Pizza works too. You want to go first, and then you can go off of that.
I know what my rating is. It's 1 beefy 5-layer burrito because I normally get 2, and like this is kind of what I was looking for, but I wanted more.
Sure. Okay.
That's what I would give this. And it's not grilled. I typically like them grilled.
Sure.
This is like a Taco Bell order, and they like forgot part of the order. That's what I would give this. Like a DoorDash, and I'm like, I asked for fire sauce, and they didn't give it to me, you know?
So if this book was like fantastic, I would have given it the Cinemark exclusive Blue Beetle popcorn bucket that they have for this.
Big rating.
But they're not getting that today.
Oh, okay.
They'll just get the Blue Beetle souvenir cup.
Not as cool.
Not as cool. You see that?
Wait, so
Definitely
the Blue Beetle
cool.
bucket's like a thing you could take home?
Yeah, look at that.
Whoa,
It's like-
that's so
it's-
cool.
It's like the Scarab. Isn't that sick? At Cinemark.
What is that?
It's a popcorn bucket you
container?
can get from Cinemark.
Wow, and the
That's
wings
awesome.
kind of
The
shut on the
Yeah,
popcorn.
so you can
Wow.
save it for later.
It's like what they used to have at Disney with the TIE Fighter.
yeah. It's
I
like
still
that.
have that. That thing's awesome.
This one even has like a lanyard on it too, so you can carry around your little fucking.
Dang, I want to. Are we going there? When we
no, we're going to Harkins.
Ah,
Superior popcorn. Yeah, I'm not going there just for the bucket.
I kind of want the bucket.
Some shit I'm going to throw away.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, so Dad.
Yeah, I
what
think
do you
I'm going to go with a 3-finger combo from Cane's.
Okay, that's valid.
I mean,
Yeah, I
for
like
me,
that.
it was satisfying, but it wasn't certainly.
Still a little hungry.
Yeah, you're still a little hungry afterwards, and you kind of want to eat a little bit more.
You wish you got some extra sauce, you know?
Yeah,
dude, I
with
hate
only
running out
one
of
cane
sauce.
sauce. With
One
only
cane sauce.
one cane
Bizarre.
sauce with this one.
It's not enough.
You got to ration
I
it.
do that just for my bread.
Well, but I'd even put that in my rating with only one cane sauce because
Yeah.
2 cane sauce
That's
is
ideal.
a little bit better. That's
Yeah.
perfect. You got the right amount of saturation of your finger.
You can get dirty, you know, with 2 cane sauces.
Take right in
You can get
there.
nasty.
You get finger licking, dude.
Okay, I like that rating. That feels appropriate.
Yeah, very good. So let's get in the poll list. Colon.
Shove it in your box.
The poll list, what did you shove in your box? So, Dad, the poll list is your list of items at a comic book shop that you'd like to subscribe to. And so they'll order issues specifically for you and hold them for you
And they keep it in what's called your box.
in your box. So
Okay.
So
that's where the name of this segment comes from.
it's not anything dirty.
No, Nathan, what'd you get?
Dude, I had a big week.
It was a big week.
I did not expect to spend like $30 today. So,
it's normal.
well, I picked up 2 things that I missed
Okay.
as well.
So
but,
it adds
So Night Terror's Superman came out.
2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
The last issue of Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, friend of
Yeah.
the show, came out today. So I picked that up. Miss Truesdale number 4.
Right.
In Hell We Fight number 3 with John Layman, friend of the show.
Yeah.
And then I picked up Void Rivals 2, and then Void Rivals 3 came out.
Oh, okay.
So those are the things I picked up.
Nice.
Oh, and then I also picked up, there is a Many Deaths of Lila Starr, like
Oh yeah, it's
black and white edition, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
has commentary from the artists Felipe Andrade.
Yeah.
And that book is incredible. We read it for the podcast. I can't even remember why. Did it win like an Eisner or something?
I think it was just we just wanted to read it. Yeah,
It's like one of the best books that I think I've ever read.
one of my favorite for sure.
It's like a crisp, like I think it was like 5 or 6 issues and just a whole
I think
story
it was
in
just
there.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, I teared up at the end. It's like so good. The artist, like, I saw the pages and I wanted to buy like original art from him. Like I was like, I don't care how much it is, I'll figure it out.
It's about like the Indian god of death that is basically like fired because someone on Earth has created immortality, and so they are like banished to Earth and become human, right? And so
And their goal is to try and like
kill the person.
person that creates immortality, but then through that they kind of learn about life and the importance of like life and death as like a system. So like
it means to be human,
tons
things
of
like
deep
that.
themes, and like she inhabits a person's body that like just died the moment that they were like banished from being a god, and just like some incredible like coloring and art and story. So I think it was really, it's like probably the book that I'd recommend to just anybody, even someone that like doesn't read comics a whole lot. So I'd probably recommend that if you're getting into comics.
Yeah, I need to have that.
Yeah, I'll send you the link,
Yeah,
but really good. So
definitely.
I read that and I was reading like his commentary and everything on there, and it was very interesting because he like went to Mumbai before like doing this comic, not specifically for the comic, but he was just in Mumbai, and he was talking about how that affected his design of India and stuff.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Sweet. That is pretty neat. I think I'd rather just get like a deluxe trade of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So World's Finest 18 came out, Nathan.
Ooh, I missed that.
Yeah. And How We Fight number 3 I got. I Hate Fairyland number 8. Alpha Flight number 1.
Are you going to pick that up?
Yeah. I'm just giving it a shot.
Cool. I'll borrow it off you since you're borrowing a ton of things off me, which I have for you today.
Hell yeah. And then Uncanny Avengers number 1 came out. Did you see that?
I did, and that's like the start of Gods, I guess.
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
by Jonathan Hickman.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
I checked.
You did.
I did. It's by somebody else, but Hickman's like part. I don't know what it is.
All right.
Anyway, here's the 4 million things that you wanted from me.
It was just 4.
It was. Daniel texted me this morning. He was like, "Can you bring this, 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 and this?" And I'm like,
It's
"Are you
all
robbing me?"
It's all things I like want to read but don't want to buy.
Yeah,
But I know he has them, and
and you just don't want to hunt him down.
yeah. Well, no, I don't even want to pay for them. I'll just read what you have,
Great.
and then maybe I'll buy them.
Okay, that's fair.
Uncanny Avengers, and then because I've bought Uncanny Avengers before, and it was kind of a good time.
No, okay,
And then Miss Truesdale
nice.
4. Dad, did you buy any new comics?
No,
No?
but obviously this led me into some others that in doing research for Blue Beetle, Young Justice I hear is one of those adaptations where, obviously after the Justice League and those kind of things, this is like the next generation, and so Blue Beetle's in that.
Yeah.
So I'll probably, like I said, continue the end of this one just to see how it adapts to the movie, and then watch the movie, to your point, and then maybe kind of play around in that space a little bit. But
Yeah.
I'd definitely be open to any recommendations. That trade that you talked about sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Love to watch or read it.
Yeah. And so I have a friend who was also laid off recently, and he's been like reading more comics,
Nice.
and he bought like the DC Universe subscription so he could read any like DC book.
Ah,
And I was trying to recommend stuff to him.
but it's
but
all
like-
DC stuff.
What?
It's only DC stuff.
It's only DC stuff.
Yeah.
What would like Batman would you suggest? Because he's really into Batman. He's one of those guys.
So for like a new reader, I wouldn't recommend like a long run. Maybe just like a trade. Earth One.
That's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
To be fair, he is reading Dark Knight's Metal, which is
So
which is a lot. That's a lot to.
you're gonna lose him, Nathan.
Yeah, I know. I was telling
gonna
him
cancel his subscription.
I was telling him I couldn't finish it. So
Maybe he has like a new reader. It'll be like
Like
fun
what is
ideas for him.
I think he is open to that. I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm scared of losing him because I did not like Dark Knight's Metal that much.
I probably, Earth One's got to be like the
I like
biggest
that.
wreck, just from what I can see on my shelf right now. But
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're referencing?
yeah.
I suggested him Batman One Dark Knight by Jock.
Okay.
I thought that was pretty solid. So,
Sure.
Anyway, did you watch anything?
Do you want to talk about what we read?
Oh, what'd you read? That sounds great
I
too.
read the first Night Terrors.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good. It's
all right.
a lot shorter than I thought it would be.
Yeah, for like an event book.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of ads in there.
Yeah. So like comics do events, and events affect everybody.
All the series.
All the books. Because it's like, wow, there's a big thing happening.
They're super annoying.
Yeah. Sometimes it could be annoying because it's like you could be enjoying a story and it's like, oh shit, this thing's happening now. That's completely not the story that I was enjoying. Sometimes it could be good. Most of the time, I don't like events.
It's kind of like a random crossover episode between two different shows.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
And it's like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
But this one I've kind of enjoyed because it's not throwing off all of the other books. They've started like new tie-in books that don't affect like the main story.
The normal main stories have just paused.
They've just like paused for like 2 months or whatever so that, artists can get ahead or whatever. But Night Terrors is basically like everybody on Earth has like gone to sleep and they're all having like nightmares. And there's a entity that's trying to search all the superheroes' nightmares for like a thing to like take over the world because it's hidden somewhere in somebody's nightmares. And so all the superheroes like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, they're just like all having nightmares and you're reading their nightmares, which is kind of cool. So I've actually kind of been enjoying this. It's very like artist focused, I feel like as well. And so that's one of the things that you're taking from me is Night Terrors Superman, which is from an artist called Tom Riley that I really like. But so
I read that. Unless you like make me read it, I probably won't like finish it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's like if you like Dead Man and you like The Sandman, like they don't really get a whole lot of spotlight.
Sure.
So they show up in here, and I like Dead Man. So.
Yeah. And then I read Big Game #1.
Okay.
There's this writer who does like independent comics, and so all new stories, new characters, people you've never heard of. And he's been doing it for like 20 years, right? And so all these different books that he's written that all seem completely unconnected are now being connected together, which is insane because a lot of them are just like seem like they don't relate at all,
Yeah.
But he's bringing them all together.
He's like, surprise, they're all in one universe.
And so it's just it was like it was fun to just kind of see him weave it together, and it should be like 5 issues.
Is Kingsman in it?
It's supposed to be. Yeah.
Yeah, Kingsman and Kick-Ass are 2 that have been made into like movies that you might be somewhat familiar with. And
Two favorites.
You remember that movie Wanted with
Wanted.
James McAvoy? That was one of his comics too.
Yeah.
He's got quite a few. But yeah, they're all connected. And so I read that.
Is it good?
Pretty good. The art's awesome.
Who's it again? Javier Garrón or something?
Pepe Larraz.
Oh, Pepe Larraz. He's great.
Yeah, he's very good. And then I read Cosmic Detective.
Oh, finally.
Yeah, I know.
You've had that for like a year.
Hey, no. Couple
Over
months.
a year.
Couple
I
months.
think.
No way.
100%.
No, I don't know.
Or maybe you just bought it over a year ago.
So some creators will put books on Kickstarter for whatever reason, but I bought it a long time ago within the span of this podcast, and then you get it like a year later or whatever. But I just found out that they're actually going to publish this and will be available in comic shops. So I just wanted to read it before it's out in comic shops.
Before everybody reads it.
Yeah. So I feel exclusive,
Yeah. You're special, man.
Yeah. Pretty solid. It was really cool and a very like one sitting kind of read kind of thing.
What's it about?
Okay. So Dad, this book's called Cosmic Detective. What planet do you think it's based on? Just from that title. Yeah.
Uranus.
Let's go Mars.
Okay. No, it was based on Earth.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm like second guess.
Yeah. I'm like, why do we base it on Earth and it's called Cosmic Detective? Like, I thought it would be like an old multiple planet, like intergalactic.
Does he detect cosmic things?
Yeah. Kind of.
Okay. Well, then that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
The cover shows like New York or something. Why would you think it's not
Mars City or something? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Mars City.
Yeah,
You're right.
The capital Mars.
The planet. The capital of the whole planet. Because we have one of those too.
Yeah, Washington, D.C.
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona.
But anyway, pretty good. Yeah, did you read anything?
I read the second Night Terror Superman, which is in here.
Okay.
Pretty solid.
Pretty good.
I don't think I read anything else, to be honest.
All right.
Let me think.
Dad, is this all you read this week?
Wall Street Journal.
Oh, okay.
Oh, any good journals this week?
Nothing.
No good journal entries.
There's no good journal
I will say,
entries.
dude, I had like a crazy binge of like YouTube video essays.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you follow that guy who just like posts like crazy videos?
I've seen his stuff, and I watched one of the video
Suggested.
essays that he suggested, and it was like, okay.
Well, okay, so what else did you watch?
Dude, there's a fucking really well-produced YouTube video
About?
by Defunct Land is the YouTube name.
Yeah.
And he just kind of goes over the history of like the Disney Channel theme.
Okay, yeah.
Dun, 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 like that one.
Yeah.
And he was like, no one knows who wrote that, like those 4 notes. He like found like executives at Disney, got him on the phone, and they're like, I don't know. And it was just like this thing that was like super hard to find. And it was just like his journey of like that. But he is really good at like why they, talking about why they make like different themes. They're called like bouncers or something, when it like a show is about to go into commercial and it's like, don't leave, like it's coming back, and like the history of those. And he's like very thorough with it.
How long was this?
It was an hour and 15 minutes, I think.
For like this 4-second jingle?
It's incredible. It's actually bizarre, and there's a twist at the end. You wouldn't think that it's good. It's probably the one that I would recommend out of his channel. He's got another one that has like 18 million views about just the history of Disney's Fast Pass, which is a good video. It's like really insane that they were just like, they're basically like building a plane as they were like flying it, kind of deal. It's like one of those things where it's like, we don't really know how this works. I don't even know if it's like helping anybody, like getting them on more rides or whatever.
Yeah.
So that one's pretty good.
Oh, that was innovative. It was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing because taking you.
That's what you think.
Taking you as kids was, we would maybe hit 2-3 rides, and then we were done.
Yeah.
And now you can basically hit all the rides now with fast passes.
Yeah, but it's changed like a dozen times, like how you do it. It's changed even
sure.
now. Now it's like Genie Plus or something.
Yeah.
Like it's not even called Fast Pass anymore. And it's just been like this. It was like this whole history of like why they did it, like billions of dollars in investment in like wristbands and stuff like that, and the infrastructure of it, and how it was like some of it was like a huge failure. And that's a really good video too, because now it's kind of like exposing just to people who have more money, which is not a big surprise. But the initial intentions of Disney stuff is like, oh, family for everybody, not just like people who have money kind of deal. So anyway, he's got some good stuff.
It's a business.
Yeah, totally.
Did you watch anything like last week or so?
Nothing related to the trade, but
shows.
I mean, Mandalorian. I
Season 3?
Season 3. Yeah,
Nice.
I got through that one. I really enjoyed that. And I what I really like is the credits when they actually show all the mock-ups of all the scenes and things like that.
The concept art. And
Yeah,
stuff?
that sounds great.
Man, I'll tell you what, that is super cool to see.
That's how they really in.
They've always had
watch the credits.
incredible concept artists.
Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah. So Mandalorian was great and really enjoyed that. What else have I watched? That was Witcher.
Oh, okay.
I watched season 3 of The Witcher all the way through, and that was actually really good too. And you see the evolution of the little princess kind of coming up and trying to learn magic and things like that. And obviously Henry Cavill, is that his last name? Yeah. Henry Cavill. Buff as always. I mean,
he's so ripped,
dude. It's insane.
What a man.
Yeah, and the interesting to me that he wants to do that character.
He loves it,
didn't he?
He was like a fan of the books,
and he was
and the game. Yeah,
and he was all about signing up for season 3. There's got to be a season 4 because
there's like a part 2 to season 3.
Part 2 to season 3. Yeah, I think that's right
but he's not in it.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah.
They
kicked him out.
And they kicked him out.
It's going to be Liam Hemsworth.
No, I'm upset.
Yeah, everybody was.
I'm upset.
He was like, he didn't like what they were going with, because like it wasn't true to like the books and whatnot, and that was basically what got him on board. So he abandoned ship, basically.
When did that come out? See, I'm behind.
A couple months ago.
Yeah, like 6 months ago, maybe.
Oh, okay. So I'm a little behind.
So you missed the news.
I didn't even know you were watching it. I would have told you.
I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm
glad I told you, so you don't just like wake up that day.
Like, who's this?
Like, what?
Who's this? The bitcher?
Had I gone back to episode 165 of your show,
Yeah,
I
if
would
you
have
had watched
known
that episode, we probably talked about it.
Yeah, people
So,
get
I failed
rewarded
you.
for listening in.
Yeah,
I failed you. I failed
We
you.
got the hot news that comes out a week.
All the hottest takes.
That comes out a week later.
Yeah. So I binge watched that, and I thought that was fantastic. It was good.
Did you watch anything, Nathan?
New season of Solar Opposites came out.
Oh fuck! It did. I knew something came out.
Yeah,
When did it
dude.
come out?
Wednesday. No, wait. Sorry, today's Wednesday.
Sunday. Monday.
Yeah.
It's all of it.
All of it.
Fuck. Okay.
So
I'll have to
I
get on
actually did a Hulu watch party, which I didn't know was a thing. And like Parker and Emily really liked the show. And so,
that. Sick invite, bro.
well, okay. You're right. I probably could. Well, we were on Discord. I don't even know if you have a Discord.
I don't know what that is.
It's basically like Teams, but not cringe, you know?
Okay.
But like, not that Teams is like cringe, but it's like for like playing video games and stuff if you want to be on like a Skype call, essentially.
Okay.
So there's like a Hulu watch party feature where if you just like send someone a link, they can click on it and it'll start the show at the same time for everybody.
That's sick.
I was listening and watching the show with them and we were all laughing at the dumb jokes. The show's so dumb. It's like,
Did you watch it all?
I watched the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
Still dumb.
No, I love that show.
It's from the creators of like Rick and Morty. They made just a Hulu original show about aliens trying to take over the world, but they're also just like living a normal life. And so they just like don't understand like human things that happen and they just like make fun of people all the time. I think it's great. It's like one of my favorite TV shows just because of it's dumb and I can turn off my brain and just laugh at the crazy ideas that they come up with.
Yeah, you got to have those types of shows in
Yeah,
your
it's
life.
absolutely that show in my life right now. Polar Opposites.
It's hilarious.
Or Solar Opposites.
Yeah.
Do you like
Were you actually in the same room with them then?
I was in the same like virtual room with them.
Okay, but you were both.
I was
like,
at my
you mean
house.
you were
They were
in
at their house.
Okay.
They were still on 2 different computers. They live together. I don't know.
That's
They don't watch TV together.
Yeah, but
Is that how the relationship works?
I guess so. They're in 2 different rooms. They sleep.
You want to watch a movie? Yeah.
Yeah, invite me to a watch party. We'll go on Discord.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Hulu feature is very buggy. Like sometimes it just doesn't start. I think one person still has ads if you don't like if you have like the ads Hulu subscription.
If they're poor.
If one person pauses to like go shit or something, like it doesn't pause for everybody else. So basically all it does is just coordinates starting at the same time.
Okay.
So it's not a great feature, but I thought it was interesting that they had it. And I still had a good time watching it with them. But yeah, so I did that.
Very cool.
They know I played a unbelievable video game.
Okay.
It's called Power Wash Simulator.
Oh God.
It's a game where you just power wash things. Like, you know, the people like the power
Like
washers.
driveways?
Like, probably some driveways on there. Yeah.
What were
houses.
you power washing?
I was power washing a steam locomotive, so a train. There's different nozzles you can get, different spray angles. Sometimes you need the thinner ones for the tough spots. And it's an online game, so you can play with your friends.
Sometimes,
and it's very therapeutic. It's so nice.
I just couldn't stand like the zzz, and then like go down and zzz again. You know,
Well, you can make a fun little drawing if you want.
draw your name.
Just go crazy
dry
and just do
dick.
circles.
It's dumb, and we played it because we're like, this will be dumb.
You don't have to tell me that. Like I can tell.
No, it's dumb, but it's great because it was like the perfect thing for like my monkey brain to just like be doing something, but then also just like talking to friends about something completely different. And every once in a while would be like, this is great. You know? And at the end, it like gives you a time lapse of the thing that you've power washed.
Is this on PC?
It's on PC, also on Xbox, I believe. But this is the time lapse of what we did, which was like a huge like park fountain. It was so dirty. But hold on,
So dirty.
it was so dirty. Like, how did they let
so
it get that way? So it like does a time lapse of you actually like power washing everything. It's very nice.
That is disgusting.
It's very big, and you have to like jump up to different things and like platform to it, and you got to get like all the gnomes.
Dude.
And every time you do like a certain part of the thing, like if you do a certain gnome or like part of the basin, it like tells you what you're power washing. And me and my friends are like, dude, we got to get this like lower basin edge or whatever, and like tells you what you're getting. And it's like, oh yeah, we got to do that.
I feel like you would play like a lawnmower simulator. You know,
100%. After this, I didn't think I would. There's a farming simulator that's huge.
Isn't
But
there a
anyway,
goat simulator?
There's the next thing that we're gonna get that we're gonna do is a golf course, and it's filthy. Oh man, I can't wait. But I
all
started
18 holes?
I started looking up speed runs of the game, and the speed run is when you do a game as fast as humanly possible. And I was looking on speedrun.com, which is like the official site, and there's not a whole lot of speed runs for the 3-person category. So the categories are like solo, 2-person, 3-person, or 4-person.
So you guys are gonna do it?
I think we can actually get a world record in this game if we like grinded one level that people don't play that much.
This is the gap you've been missing in your resume.
How amazing would that be if I was a world record holder?
Be so proud of you.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's
How
a
sick
resume
would that
builder.
be? Because people don't care about this game, but I could still be a world record
You
holder.
put it in your bio, dude.
I could, dude. So I think that's a big draw for like our podcasts, you know?
I mean, if you're looking to power wash things, I have a fantasy football league party coming up this weekend. You can do all my backyard immediately.
No, that's lame.
My
And
back patio is
Like, don't
terrible.
do it
that's
for
real
real.
life, and that's lame.
Don't do
I
it
actually
for
have
real.
a power washer if you want to
Dude,
try
can
and
I
get
actually
it.
borrow it? I need to power wash something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know how it works, but yeah, you can have it.
Why do you have it?
Tom gave it to me.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I'll need to steal it. But yeah, the game's actually super fun. And we were just like all listening to music. We found like a Discord bot that is like its own virtual user that goes into the call, and it just plays music, and you could queue up music and stuff. So we were just like listening to music as we were doing
Dude,
this.
you should.
It was a vibe.
You gotta do a power washing like playlist. Like,
Dude, yeah.
put one together.
We were like listening to like weird stuff. Like Bloodhound Gang, you ever listen to them?
It sounds familiar.
It's just like a rock comedy band.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Sweet.
I recommend the game. Power Wash Simulator. Pretty
Okay.
good. Don't speedrun it though. I'm going to get the world record first.
I watched a few things.
Okay.
I watched a show called Blackbird. Have you heard of that?
Yep,
Yeah. Did you watch that?
we did watch it.
Yeah. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
got Taron Egerton in it, and he's like a drug dealer that goes to jail, and the government wants him to get another inmate to confess to like some locations to some bodies so
Okay.
that they can keep him in jail. And it's like based off a true story, and it's pretty good.
Pretty wild.
Pretty dark, yeah. It was pretty
Ooh.
good.
It is
and
dark.
Taron Egerton is fucking jacked in that, dude.
Is he?
I watched it only because I saw that he was big in it. He looks
Really?
huge. I like now think he can be Wolverine. Just
Oh yeah, people were saying it could be-
Blackbird, Taron Egerton. It's amazing.
Yeah, who's the?
There were some sex scenes in this. I was looking at him. It was fantastic.
Holy shit! Look at him.
Look at that man.
Oh, whoa, his shoulders are bowling
You're secure.
balls.
You're secure. You can say that out loud.
He's yeah.
Yeah, he was buffing that.
What the hell?
What's the name of the other actor who plays the
other dude?
supposed serial killer?
Oh, I don't know his name.
I thought he did a really good job in that.
He always
playing just
plays like
a
some
really
sort of
weird-
like yeah, something like that. No, but that he was just
Wow.
like huge, and
Yeah.
so I was like,
Cool.
oh my god.
I can't even imagine trying to get close enough and make somebody feel comfortable around you to tell you all the people that they killed. Right? I mean, just
Right.
the whole
Bizarre.
concept was really odd for me.
Well, like when you're like in like prison, and that was like it was like a pretty loony bin, you know, where some things could slip out, or maybe like they're bragging to each other about the things that they got away with, kind of thing. Just because they're all criminals in there, they know that that's who they're with. But
yeah, good show.
yeah, so I watched that. I watched Love and Death, which is a show on HBO Max. Did you watch that? It's got Jesse Plemons and Elizabeth Olsen in it.
Jesse Plemons is always good.
Yeah,
I always forget his name.
and
but-
so it's about this couple in like the 70s or something, or 80s, because Star Wars was coming out, and they like had this like organized affair, and then like it turns out, then like later after they cut off the affair, Elizabeth Olsen like accidentally like, kills his wife, and then it like goes into like this whole like
Elizabeth Olsen kills his wife.
kills Jesse Plemons' wife
Oh, okay.
because they're having an affair,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I've heard of this actually.
Yeah. It's based on like a true story as well, and it goes into like the court case about it and stuff like that. It's really good, limited series. It like kind of starts off a little slow, but
Is that
it's
on
pretty
Apple?
interesting. That's on Max.
Oh, Max, you said that.
Yeah. And then I watched Platonic with Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. Have you heard of that on Apple TV?
Oh, okay.
That was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. I really identified with like this Seth Rogen character because he really didn't want to like grow up and get this like super like corporate job and stuff like that. And he like was a brewmaster at a brewery and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And he didn't want to like sell out to this like
big company
restaurant chain thing. He just wanted to make weird beers and stuff.
Cool.
And so, yeah, it's like him and Rose Byrne were like old friends in like college, but then they got married and like kind of separated. But Seth Rogen gets like divorced, and so she feels like obligated to reach out, and then they're kind of like the bad friends to each other. They like kind of rally each other up, and they just get in trouble kind of thing.
Okay.
And so it's pretty fun.
So they were together and then they divorced and then but they were friends?
They've always been friends.
Oh, okay,
It's been platonic.
Okay,
Name of
gotcha.
the show. And so
yeah, their relationships kind of broke them apart from a friendship perspective.
Yeah.
And once he got divorced, they kind of reconnected. And the interesting thing for me, it was the relationship she had with Seth Rogen, and the husband of Rose Byrne ultimately said was a little uncomfortable about that whole relationship, and so it was one of those things where you're like, okay, I can relate to that. Like if you're spending that much time with your best friend, what's happening? What's going on, right? And so it just kind of had those vibes, but it was actually a really good, funny show.
Yeah, it's actually illegal to be friends with the opposite sex.
Right.
If we didn't know.
Yeah.
So
It's illegal.
But no, yeah. That makes sense. That sounds fun. I've been on a big Seth Rogen like jazz lately. Like he just like hasn't missed lately.
yeah, you should definitely watch that because that definitely added to it to his momentum. You know,
Yeah.
because it's cool that he's been like producing and directing like so much lately that
You haven't
it's
seen
cool
him
that
in anything.
that you see him in something
Yeah.
that is cool too.
Yeah, because he just was the main like producer on the TMNT movie, the animated one that came out.
Oh, cool.
Amazing.
Very good.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I think you'd like it.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
You been watching Hard Knocks at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, love that show.
Hello.
So good.
Yeah. Every single year I get sucked into that.
What is
and
that? Is that the Rock show?
What?
Never mind.
Hard Knocks?
No, isn't The Rock in that?
No.
Never mind.
Are you thinking of Ballers?
Yes, that's exactly what he's thinking of, is Ballers.
Absolutely not.
Hard
No.
Knocks is like the docuseries of like training camp in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
And this year's the Jets, and Aaron Rodgers is on the Jets. Mm-hmm. And it's so good.
Every year this comes on, you think the team that's on it, because you build these relationships with the characers, and it's just
The
so
players,
well
they're
done,
real people.
right? Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
I love this character who plays running back.
That's
I love
right.
Mr. Rogers.
But you come out of it thinking they're going to win the Super Bowl, and then they end up sucking big time. 'Cause
Yeah, like-
is there like a Hard Knocks
It's supposedly it's like a curse. Yeah.
I don't think it's like a curse, but they always pick teams that like didn't make it to the playoffs the year before, you know. So it's like never like anyone that exciting.
Sounds like a big NFL commercial.
But
Was
yeah,
there
like,
any team that was on Hard Knocks that made it to the Super Bowl though?
I'd have
After
to,
being on Hard Knocks?
I haven't watched it that long, so I don't actually know.
Yeah.
But
How many?
like last year, it was like the Lions, and I like fucking love like the coach of the Lions now because of this
They
show.
did pretty good last year, didn't they? Or
Yeah,
no?
they did great last
did,
year.
yeah.
Yeah, they did
Considering-
all right.
For the Lions, they did great.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure somewhere there might be some anomaly where like the Hard Knocks team went to the Super Bowl.
But this year's different
So
because they have Aaron Rodgers and they have a really great team.
Dude,
and
you see
so
that they
this year's
signed
different.
Dalvin Cook,
Yes.
the Jets? They're fucking going to the Super Bowl, and they're gonna destroy
It'd
the
be so funny if they
Patriots.
suck this year.
Dude, if they fail, that's gonna be like the most disappointing like super team in like NFL history. I think, like,
I would agree with that.
Sometimes they don't vibe. You know.
because like they have like offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, Aaron Rodgers, Dalvin Cook, which is like a top 5 running back, a killer, one of the best defenses they've ever had. And so it would just be like,
Sauce Gardner as a cornerback, and that guy's incredible. He was defensive rookie of the year, right? Wasn't he?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so it's like insane that they would like lose, you know?
Have they done a Hard Knocks for other sports since this?
They should, but I don't know.
Because it
think
seems
so.
like a pretty good way to like become a fan of something, because you start to see like the behind the scenes stuff like officially. So
I saw a documentary about golf and didn't dig it.
I could see why that wouldn't be anywhere near or close to like a team game documentary.
Yeah, and a lot of people told me about
Are
it.
there
It was
golf
called
coaches?
It was
I don't
called
think
Full
so.
Swing, and they all said,
Great name.
and they had a bunch of these people who actually won purses by winning a golf match, right?
You win a
And they
purse?
were $1 million, and you win like upwards of, or like on top of $1 million, right?
Wow.
I mean, $1 million plus at least. And they were just talking about how difficult it was to, be in the league or whatever it is, the PJ
fans-
Tour. And it was really kind of stupid because all they do is sit around and they
Talk about how rich they are.
yeah, exactly.
Are the fans of this show called swingers?
Oh,
Full swingers?
Ooh,
it's a good call.
it's a good name.
Okay.
But no, it's like a really great way to get more connected to football. Like Sarah like watches it with me. And so now she just like recognizes random coaches and stuff.
Wow,
Like-
interesting.
Like they played the Panthers in like the preseason this last episode. It's like, oh, that's Frank Reich. I'm like, yes, it is.
Whoa.
I'm like, I'm glad he got a head
And you
coaching job.
You started clapping.
Yeah.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah, I mean, they
didn't know
show
who
his
that
name right in front of when he pops up. So I'm like, but she knows how to pronounce it and stuff like that. And,
Okay, cool.
and so she like knows people.
Very nice.
And so
Your mom didn't like football until you started playing.
till I started playing. Oh, cool.
And then she tried to figure it out, the game. I've been watching
I still
football
don't
for years.
know it 100%. Like there'd be some weird rule or some call. I'm like, what was that one? And like when you like go to the games and like some people call shit like immediately as it happens, I see a flag. I'm like, let's see what this is about. You know?
Oh, I wonder what happened.
They're like holding. I'm like, how'd you see that?
Yeah, like you're like a mile away.
Yeah, you're like 100 feet away.
How do you see that?
I also watched The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, the vampire on a boat?
Yeah, Dracula on a boat.
Dracula on a boat?
That's how people seem to be referring to it.
Mm-hmm.
I came up with some better names.
Okay,
personally.
let's hear it.
So, The Lost Buoys, like The Lost Boys, but buoy.
Okay, let's hear what else there is.
Bite Tanic.
I like that a lot. That's much better. You should have led with that one.
Nosferatu.
Dude, that's a great one.
Thank you. Blood Vessel.
But it's not Nosferatu.
No, Nosferatu. Well, Nosferatu is Nosferatu.
He's a different vampire.
Yeah, but he was like a ripoff of Dracula when they couldn't get the rights for Dracula.
Okay, fair.
So,
Blood Vessel?
Blood
I like
Vessel.
that. I like that.
Captain Bloodlips.
Dude, you really thought about this.
Yeah.
What is that? What is Bloodlips a reference to?
Like Captain Phillips, but Bloodlips.
Not as good.
Not like one. That's all of them.
Okay.
But so this is a movie about like one chapter in the Book of Dracula where he's going from like Transylvania to like London or whatever, and they just made like a whole movie about it.
Yeah, it seemed interesting. I mean, like just a horror movie set on like a pirate ship.
Yeah, it didn't really look
idea.
like a horror movie to me when I saw like the trailer for some reason. It just seemed like a monster movie, but they did try and like shoot it like a horror movie with like some jump scares and whatnot. This was directed by like the guy that was supposed to direct The Magic Order before like that was like scrapped at Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This was produced by like DreamWorks, which was super shocking to me.
Seems a little off for
Yeah,
them.
they did the whole like moon thing. I'm like, wait a damn minute, are we in the right movie?
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah, just so bizarre. But Nathan, in the first 30 minutes, it was a bad movie.
They killed a dog?
They killed a dog, dude.
No way.
And it wasn't like they fucking like they didn't like imply it. Like they like showed this dog like torn up
Oh, man.
and like a bite in the neck. I'm like, fuck this movie.
We have a rule on this podcast that if a dog dies, it's a bad book.
Mm-hmm.
Which has been pretty consistent, I feel.
Yeah.
There's been some close calls. One time a dog died and then he got resurrected. And we're like, what does that mean then? Is it a good book then? So we said the book was saved. The only time a dog has died and it's been good, been in a zombie book, and the dog sacrificed himself to save his owner.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
But
no,
That's a solid rule.
And
That's
then
a solid rule.
you saw the origin of that dog as well. So you get more dog because the dog died later. And so it's like, okay, this is the only exception.
yeah.
I would agree with that.
But yeah, it was pretty good. It was kind of weird because like the first scene was like the boat like crashed on like this beach or whatever, and then like someone went in and be like, "No one's alive, sir." I'm like, okay, what's the point of this movie?
Like, you just get up and leave.
yeah. Oh, I guess we can go.
But that was quick.
But it's got David Dashmalshin in it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen like every movie he's made this year, and
He's been in 3, surprisingly, in the last like 2 months.
I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was actually like relatively solid.
Cool.
You know, it's like bombing right now, but like
Yeah, because the biggest movies ever made are out right now.
yeah. And so yeah, Dom really wanted to see. I was fucking fighting him on this one. I was like, this is like a fucking rented at home maybe movie, you know? But no, we went and paid for it, and yeah, it wasn't bad.
Okay, nice.
So
Very good.
What are we gonna read next week? What are we gonna read next week, Nathan?
I have no idea.
I'll tell you what we're reading.
All right, good.
We're reading One Piece.
What about something else? Counter offer.
Too late. I already told
Not
Carter.
that. Oh, shit.
And he's coming on.
Damn it. Okay.
He's got Wednesday off.
Is that One Piece show coming out already?
Yeah, the 31st.
Okay, fine.
It'll be fun.
Only the first volume, though.
First volume.
Okay, cool.
All right.
I don't like to read manga because it's backwards.
Because it's like Japanese
you
comics.
you read it
left to right.
Oh,
No.
okay. Interesting.
right to left.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
And so you have to read like the panels like right to left too.
Yeah,
And
so you start like top right and then you go, like this.
You
And
get used to
it's
it.
backwards.
Yeah.
You do get used to it. I actually liked Zom 100 when you read it, so
Cool.
cool. Well, that's the show.
Yeah, thanks everyone for
Awesome.
watching. Thanks, Dad, for coming on.
Yeah,
Bops.
thank you guys for having me. I was so excited about this. I was planning it for weeks.
Yes. Sorry the book wasn't better. We'll have to get you on for another one.
Yeah,
That's all right. Yeah, give me-
sorry,
give
you
me a
asked
winner.
to come on for this one, and I'm like, sure. His name's Jaime. That's fun, but we didn't like really put you on to anything.
Yeah, we don't force anybody to do this.
So maybe next time it'll be like something that we think you'll like, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to come back.
But yeah,
I got to make up for some of the other family members that have been on a couple times, like your sister.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and Carter will be on his second time next week. So
Oh, okay.
Everybody else is averaging 2 so far.
All right. I'm gonna be at the top of that list.
Linktree in the bio. Go like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you have any suggestions, email us at tradewaiterspod@gmail.com.
We'll get to them.
We will get to them. We're slowly getting to them.
Yeah.
And that's it. Thanks.
Peace.
Peace.